Hello and welcome back to the Friday Feels episode of the UF podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's going on? How's Ronnie?
Ronnie is great.
Yeah, Ronnie's Jordana's dog, if you're new here.
Dare I say, might be trained. Potty trained.
Potty trained. Cocky. Really?
Dare I say.
Really?
Yes, maybe, I think.
Are you getting more attuned to when Ronnie has to go? Or is Ronnie like at the door like, excuse me, Jordana, I gotta go outside and take a shit?
I think it's a combination.
Okay.
And the third thing is also he's gotten bigger, so his bladder is bigger.
So he can hold it in
So he can hold it, and I think he's just like smarter because he's older. So.
I heard you on oversharing.
Yeah.
He's getting bigger by the day?
Yeah, he gets big.
Is he Clifford?
I mean, he's like, they grow. So when we got him, he was 8 pounds.
Yeah.
Now he's like 35 pounds.
Oh
so
my
he's
God.
like 4 times the size that he was when we got him, which is crazy. It's kind of crazy because
is he more fun bigger, or is it, are you longing for the days when he was just a puppy?
Yes, he's less work now.
Okay.
He's still a lot of work, but he's less work than when he was a puppy, but he's getting like a little less cute. I mean, he's still very cute, but he's like, it's
they ugg up pretty quick.
A puppy, like a little puppy is like, you can't like...
Yeah, you can't beat a puppy.
Yeah.
I mean, a puppy.
I mean, it's funny. You can tell by the reaction when you take him out, like to
not the young woman he used to be.
He's still like he's still a puppy. He's still like not a full size dog. But when he was like a little puppy and anyone would see him, they would just like they would like faint.
There were pictures that you posted that I was like, this dog, it is a showstopper.
And you're not even like a dog.
No, I'm not trying to like
So if he would like come into contact with anyone, I think at that age, they would like completely lose their shit.
Are you going to fly with the dog, do you think?
No.
Never?
No, because I think you have to put a dog that size in like under the plane, which is bad for them.
No, you don't. No.
I think you do.
I saw a Great Dane on a plane.
Was it a service dog?
It was a service dog.
Was the person blind or something?
I know the name of the Great Dane that's on a plane is named Colonel, and the dog is famous, and that dog is an asshole. Okay. They shouldn't be on a plane.
Aren't they a service dog, though?
Colonel has a huge social media following. Years ago, I found a friend of mine sent me a picture.
Are you jealous?
I'm not jealous. I'm just like, enough.
I'm not jealous.
I just infuriated.
He's not even that funny.
Listen, yeah, he's not even that. He's got a huge following, makes a lot in brand
you
deals.
recognized him.
I was on a plane yesterday coming here to tape the U Up podcast and from Delray, West Palm. And can I just play this for you to show you what was going on in this flight?
Yeah.
This is the dog.
During the flight. Okay, he's barking.
This is the whole flight.
Isn't he a service dog? Aren't they supposed to be like very well trained?
Well, that's my point. Is like the dog's supposed to calm you down. This is not calming.
You should have gotten up and said something to the dog.
Everyone was annoyed. I wasn't.
That's
alone.
a long time. I'm sure you've heard. I'm sure you've heard babies crying a whole flight.
No, baby different. Baby
different.
No. I think being annoyed at kids on planes is a bad opinion. I think it's from the worst type of people.
But it's okay to be annoyed about dogs.
Yes. The baby crying on a plane, that's a human. You have to travel with it. It is
a service dog.
I'll buy it.
What's the owner like?
I need to see the owner like shaking with the dog.
It's not the dog's fault. It's the owner's fault.
Right. Yeah. But I'm just saying they shouldn't bring a dog. That's not doing the job. To me, there should be like a 3-strike rule.
And this is the famous dog.
No. I just don't like that Colonel's a Great Dane was on a flight. Like, that's crazy.
Okay.
The dog is bigger than some planes. But that's a separate. Okay. That's separate. My dealings with Colonel are separate than...
That's how you know you fly a lot, when you have issues with two separate
types of dogs
that you've seen on an airplane.
I'm just saying, you're a service dog to help calm someone down, hypothetically.
Yes.
If the dog is going...
Right, that's not calming. There's a little dog?
It must have been. Yeah. I didn't even see it. And
who's barking?
Well, you want to, and then, but this is the problem. We use like people use moral, that their morality to kind of like shut you up. Someone will go, well, I need it, and the dog barking makes me feel better. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Like, that dog should get a strike.
Yeah.
Like, there should be the captain
or
should
the
be
owner.
able to go.
The owner.
Owner gets a strike.
Yeah.
3 strike, out. Like that should be a demerit. There's nothing to stop these people.
There's no demerit system. Why don't you give out your own demerit system? You could
If I just came by with
could make like
Jared
index
Freed.
cards. Yeah.
A red card.
Demerit.
What is
as the
this?
king
It
of
just
Delta?
says, Jared Freed says you're out. One strike one.
As the king of Delta, I mean, I can tell you if Donald Trump were a frequent Delta passenger, that would probably already be enacted.
Right. He would have made that law years ago. I got another red flag or deal breaker for you.
Let's hear it.
You're on a flight. You're dating someone. They eat sunflower seeds on a flight. Put the shells in a cup.
It's
Is that a plain food? As someone who has been dragged through the mud for saying that tuna is a plain food,
Which it is. It is, and I can tell you, I back this up because I've not only have I been on flights where tuna sandwich has been presented as an option, but listeners constantly send me plain menus, the trips to Japan, trips to many places where tuna sandwich is on the menu. So I actually think it's kind of racist to say that tuna on a plane is bad. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm throwing that out there.
Okay. Now you've gone the
I'm making it a
route.
cultural thing.
Yeah.
I'm making it.
It's a little bit racist. Okay. That's the opinion.
I think
listen, I got to back up the show. So I agree. I'm with you. I got to back
Even
you
though
up.
you don't. Okay.
So what do you think? Sunflower seeds. Tuna in. Is sunflower seeds.
How do you eat that? I haven't seen someone eat sunflower seeds in a long time.
Someone brought this up to me. It has been a while.
Yeah.
I haven't seen sunflower seeds.
How do you eat them?
How would I eat them?
How does one eat them?
Well, there's two ways to eat them. I eat the whole shell. I eat the whole
Is that
sunflower
healthy?
seed. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, do you do this, Will? You eat the whole shell? Some people crack it in their mouth, take out the little tiny seed, and then spit out the shell.
Yeah, you had to do that in private, I think.
So you don't think... My dad would spit out the shell, and then he would take a cup, and it would be all garbage shells. Can you do that on a flight? Is that...
I mean, you can technically do that on a flight.
You can do whatever you want. You can bring a dog that barks the whole time and then tell everyone else to go fuck themselves.
Should you do it on a flight? Not with someone who you're trying to fuck, I think.
Let's say you've already fucked. You're 6 months in, you're dating someone, you go on your first trip together, they bring a big bag of sunflower seeds like they're a baseball coach.
Yeah.
And they sit there and you're in the aisle and they're in the center seat just spitting them in a cup. And then by the end of the flight, it's a full cup of slobbered seed shells.
I think with 6 months in, this is the time you start telling people the truth.
And you would say to them, hey, this is not a plain food. I'd say
this is a little bit of an ick.
Right. And then if they said, no, this is what I eat every flight. Sunflower seeds is my flight
I know
food.
that they don't care about having sex.
So
they prefer
you're not going to fuck your whole trip to Cleveland. No fucking.
We can all do us.
All right.
Right? I don't know. What about you? You're dating a woman.
A woman who spits shells on the fire.
Yeah.
Kind of hot. It's kind of like, it's weird.
She spits it right in your direction.
Oh, you have a problem?
You're fine with it? Would you comment on it?
No, I would be like, this is crazy. You're being a crazy person.
I think you'd be like, all right, maybe we'll pick a different snack.
Yeah, let's. I think we can eat when we get there.
Yeah.
What did you need? Some protein? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you like some? You're not.
What do you think of bringing your own snacks on the plane?
I'm not a bring my own snacks guy.
I feel like you've had like an RX bar or two.
I bring like a protein bar. That's not a snack.
Okay. What do you consider a snack?
Protein bar is like getting you to a place. That's medicine.
What do you consider a snack?
Like popcorn.
Okay.
Like pretzels. Huge fan of the dried mango here in the office snack selection. Let me just tell the people at home, Betches has really upped their game.
We have stepped up. It used to be trash.
It used to be something I talked about behind your guys' back.
Wow.
I was not.
Okay.
I'll be honest. We want to be honest.
Well,
people in Delray would have known this as a bad snack haven. Now, you guys have gone from like one end of the spectrum to the other.
I mean, we have jerky now.
Jerky, dried mango.
I bring jerky on a plane.
Jerky on a plane's good.
If I bought jerky in the airport, I'd bring it on a plane. I don't really bring snacks from like home.
Jerky on a plane, to me, that's a good plane snack.
All right. Here I have another red flag or deal breaker.
Okay.
You're on a flight, first trip together, 6 months in. Mm-hmm. You're midway through a flight to Palm Beach from New York.
PBI, one of my favorite airports in the country.
Okay. Irrelevant to the story. And she pulls out a sandwich that she made at home for both of you. And she hands you one. And she said, I made these for the flight.
I would say, that sounds great. Good for you. No, thank you.
You just say no thank you?
I would say no thanks. You can put that back in your pocket.
Is it neutral? Are you turned on? Neutral, are you turned off?
Not turned on. Not turned on. Okay. Hacking your own food, your own sandwich is like the opposite of a turn on to me. That is like, oh yeah.
She's like, Jared, and it's not even like it's like a 12-hour, like it's just like a 3-hour
2-hour flight. You need us. No.
I packed us.
No.
It's like in cellophane.
Yeah, no, thank you, but I'm going to go with the basket. Whatever the basket has.
You wouldn't break up with her.
Not going to break up with her. I think it's sweet.
Okay.
It's a little motherly. It's a little like asexual.
Okay.
It's
a little bit of a turn off.
Yeah, there's nothing hot about it.
Okay.
I would say that. I don't know. There's this big like, what are your snacks on the plane thing? Like it's a big dating app thing. And I'm always like, nothing. Shut the fuck up. Like, I don't know. I'm like, that's not a conversation I want to even have. Okay. Like, I'm like, whatever they serve me.
Right. You'd rather talk about having sex with a goat.
Yeah.
As we discussed.
Like
a civilized person.
Speaking of dating app stuff, by the way, I have shows. I'm going to be in Alabama, London. I added Chicago. San Diego's getting added. Stamford, Connecticut. Hartford, Connecticut. All these great places. I'm going across this great country of ours. Spokane. JaredFree.com for all my live shows. I got this email the other day. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
I saved this for this podcast. It's a dating... I'm talking to this person on Hinge. Okay. And we're having like a punchy conversation. It's definitely punchy.
Nice back and forth.
A little bit. She acknowledged, she's like, it was on the premise of like, I know you're a comedian and what will you do if I guess the reason I'm asking this is the premise of the conversation. She said something along the lines of like, we should go out so I can ruin your life. You can fall in love with me and I'll ruin your life and you won't be able to do dating humor anymore.
Okay. So she's a listener.
Maybe a listener, but knows.
Well, that's what you say. That's your line. There's nothing could ruin my life more than a woman.
But it didn't feel like that line. Okay. It was
ruin
more
your life
like
separately.
Right. Okay. It more felt like, how will you do Instagram reels about dating anymore?
Right, because you'll be so happy.
You'll be so in love with me.
Okay.
But ruin your life was the premise of her like message. We had some back and forth, okay?
Okay.
And then I get this email from Hinge. Notification from Hinge. One of your matches, and then they give me their full name. You know how it gives Hinge.
Weird.
One of your matches, blank, full name, first and last, which is not something they give you on the app, was recently removed from Hinge based on information regarding potentially fraudulent behavior. Now there's a star next to fraudulent. We are notifying you because you matched with this user. While Hinge cannot verify the accuracy of such information, it advises you to remain cautious in your online interactions with all individuals you do not already know. As a safety reminder, we advise against ever sharing your personal financial information or sending money to other users via any means. If you do receive one of these requests from another user, please report them directly to us. Read more about how to stay safe on Hinge. Please visit our safety tips and then they do the star. So the star was at potentially fraudulent behavior. Fraudulent behavior includes, but is not limited to, using a false identity or posing a significant risk of attempting to obtain money from other users through deceitful means.
Maybe she was going to ruin your life.
Right. So.
Weird. Did she seem normal?
She seemed totally normal. Normal pictures. Like, again, like.
Did she have huge breasts?
The tits on her. Del Rey sized.
Wow.
As you know from the cup and magnets that they sell in their town.
Indeed.
Huge.
Well, these women look older, I have to say.
I'm not here to accuse or besmirch or
judge
anything. They're beautiful.
They are, but I'm just saying you've been saying it's...
Yeah, so what do we think? Let's say this person reaches out to me.
Yeah.
By way of whatever.
Okay.
Let's say this is where the hypothetical nature comes in. Mm-hmm. What do you do?
Do you have any context for them and like who they are?
Well, this is like I have no context for who they are. Now I know their full name. I went and looked them up. They do follow me.
Okay.
I saw them. The account is not open.
Yeah.
I just thought this was such a...
If they reached out to you, you're saying, what would you do?
If they reached out to me, I'm not reaching out to them.
No, I think that's a pass.
That's a pass. But they reach out to me, hey, I lost our conversation on Hinge and they try to continue it.
Right.
Because this is one of those things, they say they define fraudulent behavior. I don't know what it was. I don't know the story.
Right. Well, it could be like one of those things where you get like your Instagram story taken down because it says the word boob or something, and like they make you out like you're like a sex offender, but you.
Right. Well, or you get a massage from, a happy ending massage, and now you're a sex trafficker. That's what happened to Bob Kraft. Again, I'm not here to say he's not a sex trafficker because that's what he was like kind of charged with. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure his explanation differs from the label of what he was charged with. So in the same nature, fraudulent behavior being like they're trying to like get money from people, it's a pretty scary accusation.
If she contacted you, I think you could say, hey, I actually got this like kind of weird message from Hinge about you saying that you're like scamming people. Like,
right.
What's up with that?
What's the deal?
Yeah.
What if her response is, I was making a joke about ruining someone's life? Because she did it with me.
You think that's
I don't know. It could have been. Listen, you can. All this stuff is like algorithm based.
I'm saying if it's like the Instagram story thing where you say the word boob and your post has been violating all the content, like maybe
you're harassing women. You said boob.
Yeah.
Like because they pick it up on the algorithm, right? Isn't this like a?
It could be. There could be an explanation. I wouldn't pay for her oil change if you know. I wouldn't. I would like be a little on guard.
Again, like
I would need to know the explanation, and the explanation would have to not seem weird or shady at all.
Right. It's like the problem with conspiracy theories. Like they're free to say them, and they're never wrong until they're right.
Right.
Like a clock's right.
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
Broken clock's right. Yeah.
Same thing with this is like, it would always be kind of in the back of my head. Like if she ever screwed me over.
You're at the altar.
Right.
Yeah. I think I need to know. I need to be like, what did you say?
So
what was the actual thing?
So the only explanation you would be cool with is, hey, I joked around with someone and Hinge, flagged that. And that's why I got kicked off.
Be like, what was the joke?
Can I see a screen? You would need a screenshot of the joke.
I'd need to know what she said, even if it wasn't a screenshot. I need like the exact wording.
But reaching out to her, you think is out of the question.
Unless it was, she's perfect in every way.
Right. She was not perfect in every way. Yeah. I wasn't like, she was beautiful and we were having a little bit of a rally.
I think that would be like, why? When there's so many other people. Like, it's not like you have a tough time getting dates.
I'm with you. I thought this was like was ripe to be spoken about on this show.
Men love this kind of shit.
I know. I was like, she's hot. She's running against the law here. She's a badass.
Yeah. Was it Bill Belichick's girlfriend?
Very similar.
Vibe.
So, yeah.
All right.
Let's do a show here.
Let's get into our emails. I'll read the first one.
We'll jump right in.
We're going to do a petty or prudent. The basis of the game for petty or prudent is that you break up. You're going to do something towards your ex. Is it petty? It is below the belt. Unnecessary, or is it prudent? It had to be done.
Let's do it.
All right. Hey, J&J, I'm a loyal...
Also, sorry to interrupt.
No, sure.
YouTube. I know if you haven't seen Wednesday's show, we have a whole Del Rey gift giving that went on. You can see the remnants here. The whole studio.
We're all decked out.
Out.
It was a little hot in here, so I took off my sweatshirt.
Yeah, subscribe. And here's the thing with YouTube. We consider every touch is appreciated.
Yes, we want to be touched on YouTube.
That's what I say to every woman I'm with. Every touch is appreciated. If you like, if you comment, if you share, I consider those all forms of payment for this great show. You can also support the sponsors. I would love that too, but not every sponsor is for every listener. I would love for you to share, like, comment. That is a great way to help this show in a way that means nothing to you in the world to us. So just want to make sure you know that.
Yes.
So, all right, let's do petty or prudent.
Hey, J&J, I'm a loyal subscriber and longtime fan. Your takes have helped me survive the wild world of dating. But I need a petty or prudent ruling on not one, but two moments from my breakup with my ex, Keith. Yes, that's his real name. And yes, it's a stupid name. Okay. Well, at least you're being classy and not sharing it.
Right. What do you think of the name Keith?
It's a little weird. I went out with a Keith a few times.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where does Keith come from? I have a friend, Keith. Good friend.
Where does it come
from? One of my
from?
best friends.
It feels like an older, like, sort of sinister man name.
Keith. And like it was Keith with the
right? When it's like
a
name.
Broom handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sure this Keith is lovely, or not. So here's the backstory. Keith and I were together for 4 years and decided to buy a house. It was in his name, Keith's house.
Keith's house.
It's Keith's house everywhere. First red flag, but we split all the costs: $8,000 fence, new boiler, paint, appliances, mortgage, etc. His parents gave him the down payment, so I understood the title situation. But when he cheated on me with a coworker, I asked him to reimburse me for my share of everything. As Jared wisely says, it's easier to throw money at a breakup. That's what she told me. Like, listen, Keith, it's easier to throw money at a breakup than to fight me on this. Just give me
toss the money my way. Yeah, it's said from the person ending it.
Yes, not for you.
Hey. Okay, we're broken up. Here's the easiest thing you can do.
When you're fired, you're like, it's going to be, it's much easier to throw money at me to make, like, you can't say that. It's saying the other person.
It's like when the underling tries to screw over the boss.
I really wonder if she said that to him. Okay, but not for Keith.
Just throw money at me. I'll get out of your hair.
Not for Keith. He offered me $2,000 total. That was it. Oh, and he had a dog when we got together, and we got a second one during the relationship. When we split, he asked me to take both. Like, who gives up their dog? Of course, I said yes, because I love that dog, and I was there for most of his life.
There's two mistakes you can make after a breakup. The first is not throwing money at it. The second is throwing too little money at it. You want to throw enough money that they go, I didn't even expect this.
If you're going to go through too little, you might as well not throw any.
Right. Yeah. Right. 2,000. Is that what this relationship was worth?
Insulting.
To you? It's insulting. Yeah.
Okay. So here's my 2 petty or prudent moments. I think we should do them one by one.
Let's do it one by one.
1, the breakup rent-free era. Since Keith didn't pony up anything close to fair breakup compensation, breakup buyout, emotional severance package, I decided to keep living in the house until I could buy one of my own. It ended up being a little over a month. He had local family. I didn't. I had 2 dogs and nowhere to go, so we coordinated a weird shared custody of the house. He'd stay there when I wasn't, and vice versa. I crashed with a friend the rest of the time. No rent. I figured if he wasn't going to pay me properly, the least I could get was a roof over my head for a few more weeks.
Is that petty or prudent? After the breakup, you stay in the house until you find a new place.
I think that's prudent. I think that's fine.
I don't think.
Also, he cheated on her.
Right.
So he should move out until she.
Right. Get your shit together while I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And take whatever time you need. Time is money.
Yeah.
As some douches have said. So I think that is a form of payment. Again, like in the way I'm asking people to like and subscribe, we consider that payment.
Yes.
So she is getting paid with the free rent type of thing.
It is my opinion, no matter who is paying the rent or the mortgage or whatever it is, that if you break up with someone, you should leave for a period of time.
You've brought a problem to their doorstep.
Yes.
So you should pay for that problem, or make your life should be inconvenienced, not more than theirs. I agree with that.
Yes. And I think if I broke up with someone, I would offer to leave.
Right. The only reason this is even a question of petty or prudent is the way she's like kind of positioning it.
Right, she's making it more petty than it needs to be.
Right, it's not a question of if he had given you $1 million, would you have moved out? Yeah, sure, because you would have afforded anything in the world. This is what he could give you hypothetically, supposedly, and this is what you could afford. Maybe you could afford, but your life would be imposed upon if you moved somewhere else and paid double, rent. So this is a prudent move to make sure that you're financially able to move on as quick as possible, which is a month, and a month isn't that bad.
I agree. I think this is done a little bit messier than it needed to be. If I were him, I would have just moved in with my parents for a month.
Right.
Instead of being like coordinating when she's there and not there. That sounds like a lot.
I'm going to have a party on Saturday. Can you get out of here? Yeah, I wouldn't want that.
That seems like more like messy. And if I were him and I cheated on someone and then we broke up, I'm going to move in with my parents for the month. If you could take that time to find your own place, like that would be great. And then if you need more time, let me know.
It's almost petty of him.
I agree.
To even try to
come back in when she's not there. It's like, just get out.
Just get out. And yeah. But this was prudent of her.
Yes.
All right, let's go to the second one.
Okay, 2, the open house heist.
Okay.
A few months later, I got a Zillow alert that our house was up for sale for over $100,000 more than what we paid. No heads up from Keith. I clicked through the listing and saw a bunch of my stuff still up. Cue rage. Then I noticed there was an open house. So I grabbed my best friend, showed up like a regular prospective buyer, and took back some of my decorations. Also grabbed a few not mine things for fun. Just small stuff. A shirt, I knew he'd catch flack for not returning. A few decorative pieces, nothing major, just emotionally satisfying. So tell me, petty or prudent? Rent-free revenge plus open house scavenger hunt equals genius or chaotic? Living, laughing, looting.
Yeah, that's petty.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you write, I think that's the difference between petty and prudent.
Well, why didn't she take that stuff when she left, when she moved out, is my question.
Because she didn't care about it.
Right, she's just doing it
to fuck with it.
Which is sort of the essence of petty.
Yeah,
yes.
like she says it's emotionally satisfying. If that's the reason you're doing it, that's petty.
Right.
If you're doing it because you needed a place to live, which is the first one, prudent.
Right. And I think this is a good lesson to an extent. I don't think you should have gotten all of the money you put back into the house and you were living there for a while. Maybe the repairs, no, but splitting the mortgage while you live there is basically you paying some form of rent.
Right.
And not living for free in someone else's house.
Right.
So I don't think he owes her like every single penny she put back into the house. Maybe for like the major home repairs, like you would have because he's essentially her landlord.
Right.
If his name is on the lease. And I wouldn't, and that would be something that I would have worked out with someone. That's why it's so important to have those conversations. If I was moving in with someone who was buying a house in their name, I would say, what happens if we break up?
Right. No, you're absolutely correct. And it's the reason to have these negotiations. If you don't talk about it, like it sounds like they needed to sit at the negotiation table a little bit longer.
Right.
Like it might have been that they were so emotional from the breakup and so hurt from being cheated on, which I don't think is wrong of them. You felt how you felt, but you were so ready to get done with this that you were like, give me the $2,000 and I'm out. It's like, well, hold on. You have, you obviously felt that you lost in the deal.
Right. What I would have done if I were her, if I would have said, this is how much I would be paying in rent to live in, half of the rent to live in a place like this. It's your home. I wouldn't be paying for the repairs. This is how much I paid towards all the repairs.
Right.
This is how much I feel like logistically I would be owed if I were a tenant and living in someone else's house. Mm-hmm. So this is what I would expect back. And you could say that when he's selling it. In the proceeds of the sale, maybe you could give me that back. I think if someone said that calmly and rationally, almost in an organized letter,
totally,
I would be like, this makes sense. It's supposed to like, just pay me because you were wrong. I was wronged. It doesn't really give you as much evidence as that kind of thing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I guess I don't agree with the idea that like later on she could come. I think you have one chance at these things.
Right.
Like I think that's fair. In the breakup, hey, this is how long if you make it math and not emotion, like 2,000? That's crazy. That's crazy is not a math equation.
Right. You know, what's the number?
Right. You know, what are you asking for?
What's the number and how did you get to it and why is it fair?
Exactly. Right. And I think like now we're on a different podcast. We're in a negotiation. This is a business podcast now because I think that's the hardest part about a breakup is like you're just like so angry.
Right. That you just want blood.
Blood and out. And then you go back for an open house and you steal like a tchotchke off the wall and you're like,
you steal your bikini magnet.
Right.
Because it gives you...
He's going to get flack for not having his Del Rey bikini woman magnet.
I'll show him.
Got him. So...
You're just a petty thief. It's weird. Okay.
She even wrote, she signed it living, laughing, looting. Yeah, that's what you did.
All right. Good email, though.
Good email,
for this question.
I appreciate it. Right, Send in your petty or prudence, uup@betches.com. Keep sending them in. Okay, new listener to the pod, but Jared, love seeing you in Austin. I love when someone gets here from the stand, like they found it.
Yeah.
They were at a show. What else is
If I saw your stand-up, I would want to listen to all of your podcasts.
Way too kind. I mean, we have just finished editing a whole new special.
Excited. This special is the funniest stand-up special that I've maybe ever seen.
That's almost too kind that it sounds like a lie.
Maybe. I said maybe ever seen.
Well, listen,
I have to like think about it. Here's the thing.
I think it's really good. I'm proud of it.
Maybe it's not the best stand-up special I've ever seen.
Excuse me.
Maybe, but I'm saying, I would have to think hard about one that I thought was funnier.
To me, I appreciate that. I do think, to be cocky for a second.
You said no, it was too. I brought it back.
Every compliment becomes an insult.
I wrung it back a few.
Yeah, no, but I would say to you, I'm never going to say it's the best of all time. I would say it is a very good special, especially considering I hate
no one has done more for the comedy scene
than Jared Free. No one has done more for women than Jared Free.
Exactly.
No, I'm very proud of it.
It's a great show. I'm proud of it too. I'm proud of it.
And you know what I like about it? It's fun for the whole family. But it's not like soft.
No, it's very funny.
I'm fucking with your parents. Yeah. I'm fucking with me.
It's not that clean. It's not that dirty either.
Yeah, it's not dirty. It's not clean. It's just
good.
It's me. You know, you see, there's some people, especially in comedy. There's this there's this business comedian that like this exists. Like people take angles. Like I'm the, I do Italian comedy. I do Jersey comedy. I'm like.
People want to like give people a shortcut into figuring out who they are.
Right. And it's like, this is just me telling a story and having fun. And I do think it relates to a wide audience. So if anyone out there is on the streamer side of things, we'd like some money for it.
Indeed.
So let me get into it. I started seeing a guy, he 35, me 33, that lives below me, first timer. Is that a first timer for this relationship?
I think you're saying the first time she's lived with someone, that she started seeing someone who lives in her building.
Okay. That's kind of how I saw it.
Yeah.
It was a holiday weekend, so I made the rookie mistake of going from one date to hanging out extensively through the weekend. Again, first timer.
I could see how that would happen if someone lived a floor below you.
Right. And you're excited.
Yeah.
They're cool.
They're literally, it's like a dorm room in college.
I'll go upstairs and pick up some things and I'll come right back and we'll go out for lunch.
It's almost weirder to end the date and then like see them like 20 minutes later in the parking lot.
Hey, how was your hour?
Right?
Yeah. On Sunday, I had a wake-up call and was wondering what the fuck I was doing. He had made comments asking if I had missed him. Asked if a shampoo I had was for all the guys I had over. So he's like, ooh, is this for all the men you fuck?
He's asking for exclusivity.
Right. I thought it was all a bit much. He then asked if I would be his girlfriend, which I quickly rejected. I had known him for 5 days at this point. By Tuesday night, I realized how much of a clinger he is. I expressed that I wanted to take things slow and needed a couple days to get back into my routine. He responded saying he understood and asked if I had lotion for his sunburn. There's a Walgreens across the street. Now he's just an annoying neighbor.
Is that going to be your new line in your beach
neighborhood
apartment?
Melrose place? Fast forward to Thursday, and he was trying to make multiple weekend plans with me. I doubled down on needing to slow things down and feeling overwhelmed. His response was, "Okay, no worries." This was also 5 minutes to typing this up. I have no plans to respond and truly hope he backs off.
Bad idea.
Yeah. Am I the asshole for expressing that I need space? I try to distance myself, but he just doesn't seem to get it. Respect my boundaries. Curious to hear your thoughts. Thanks. Katie, a.k.a. don't sleep with your neighbor's bitch. What do you think?
A good warning. Listen, I think it's funny how like in dating, sometimes you can be like, well, if they like you, nothing you say can turn them off.
Right.
Which is like not really true.
Yeah, you can find a way.
Like I do think if they spent like this weekend together and this guy like didn't ask her to be his girlfriend and like played it a little bit more cool, it probably, because I feel like you don't really spend a weekend with someone that you're not like really vibing with. I do feel like if he did play it more cool, like it probably would have gotten further.
I think it would have gone longer.
Yeah.
I think that's I actually think they would have found their ending. Like you're asking, what you're saying right now, I hear you, but I think you're asking him to be a different person.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, he fell hard and was like, stay for dinner.
You're my girlfriend.
You're my girlfriend. This is it. Found someone who likes to chill. Lives upstairs. Do you have lotion?
Right.
You know, like
But he's not really reading the room.
No, he's not. Maybe because who does when they're like falling? Listen, I'm giving him an incredible amount of empathy and not going the scary direction.
Right.
There's a scary direction where like he's obsessed and
he's stalking you
and he murders this woman. And I hope that doesn't happen. And I hope she's staying safe. And I hope
same.
Right. Like I'm just acknowledging this can go in a scary way.
Right.
And if you feel scared and you feel, because they live right, they know where you live.
Well, that's why this matter needs more attentive care than a normal person that you're ghosting.
Right. And saying I need space, I do understand saying it the first time. Maybe.
I think you need a formal breakup.
I think so too. And I think here's what it is. I do think this is like COVID. COVID went fast for relationships. They either sped up or they slowed down. And I think this is like what happened with them. They cohabitated. She goes, Sunday I woke up. No, you just spent
Right. Maybe she realized I'm not actually having that much fun.
I'm not into him.
Yeah.
And that would have happened 5 dates in over the course of 2 months. Instead, it happened over the course of a weekend just because you spent the equivalent amount of time together.
Right.
And you were like, I'm out. And then you're like, because you had only met that weekend, you're like, well, give me some space. Let me get away from this. Maybe that'll feel better. And then he is like, hey, what? Aren't we going to do Tuesday?
Right.
And you're still like, no, that didn't wear off yet. I'm still kind of like not into you.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe I was wrong about that statement where like crazier things have happened than you meet someone, you hit it off, and then you're just like exclusively dating after a weekend together.
That can happen. That it can go both ways. I think like, I actually think he could come back 2 years from now and go, I'm sorry, I acted totally crazy. And would you want to go on a date? It's like a little more normal.
Right.
That could work out.
It could.
I'm not saying that's out of the question. It's just, I don't think right now the version of him, she's not attracted to him.
Right. What I would text him is just a breakup text. It would be like, hey, I had a great weekend hanging out with you. I'm feeling like this isn't the right situation for me, but I hope we can be friendly if I see you around the building.
Mm-hmm. Right. I think this whole thing of like calling him clingy, I get what you're turned off by, but like that doesn't matter now.
Right.
You just want out.
Yeah. I don't think you need to like explain that.
Right.
Yeah.
The house is on fire.
You're not in a relationship. You don't need to like explain why you're breaking up with him.
Right. Hey, It was a really nice weekend. I don't think we're looking for the same things. I'm just not into this anymore.
The trouble with I don't think we're looking for the same things is like that can be refuted.
Right.
Like what are you looking for that I'm not? I think she makes it about her.
I'm looking for someone that isn't you.
Looking for someone who does not obsessed with me.
Yeah.
I think the better phrasing is to just make it an I thing, because you can't really argue that, is in terms of like, I don't think this is the right situation for me right now.
Right. I'm with you.
Because I've had guys always do some version of that where you're like, I'm not really looking for a relationship, or I don't think that we're on the same page. And then they're like, well, what are like, they're trying to like iron out.
What page would you like to be on?
Yes. Or like, I thought you said, or like, oh, I thought you said that. So like that.
No, I'm with you 1,000%. Because I mean, guys have too big an ego sometimes to be dumped. You know, like, oh, but you live upstairs, we could still fuck. And then we'll see what happens. No. I'm totally not sexually attracted to you, and I think you should never look me in the eye when you see me in the hallway.
Yes. I mean, that's what there should be an option to press that button if you hook up with someone that you live in the same vicinity as.
I'm not a sexual, just put it on a button.
Yes.
Is that the doorbell? No, that's the she won't fuck me again.
Yes.
Ding dong.
Notified.
All right, we solved dating.
We did it. We'll be back next week.
Boom.